Dear students, kids, after a long time, today we'll try to learn the basic concept of calculus. It's called as a limit of a function. Limit of a function. Of course, it has been understood that you know what do you mean by sets, relations and functions. To be precise, what I should say that two sets are there. Element in the first set, suppose if it is related by some particular rule to the element in the second set, let's say suppose if the element in the first set are 1, 2, 3, element in the second sets are 1, 4 and 9. So certainly whatever you can see that the rule is f of x is equal to x square. The rule is x square. These x values are plotted along with x axis. Of course, I haven't considered the proper units. I mean, units are different maybe for the different axes. So let's say x is equal to 3 is over here and y is equal to 9 is over there. F of x is equal to 9. So I'll try to elaborate what do you mean by a limit of a particular function. Limit of a particular function, in this case, we'll try to find limit of x tends to 3 of f of x. So how I'll find x tends to 3 of x square, basically I mean as this. First let's get acquainted with an idea what do you mean by limit of a particular function. Here as I said that limit of x tends to 3. What that exactly it means, that x approaches towards 3 from either maybe from the left hand side or maybe x is approaching towards 3 from the right hand side. So if in case if I have to say that x is approaching towards 3 from the left hand side, then I'll call as that as a left hand side limit. Left hand side limit. So I'll write as a limit of x tends to 3 minus. This minus signifies that we are approaching towards 3 from the left hand side and we are finding the limit for the function x square. So means x takes values x as 2.9, 2.99, 2.999, 2.9999. Maybe I'll say x will try to go near to 3, as close as possible. And we'll find that f of x will have what sort of a values. It's a new software, not software exactly, it's I'll say embedded facility what it's available. It's called as a Microsoft board. Looks good. You can scroll the board like this up. You'll get the feeling that you're teaching in MIT or something. Good feeling. You have an infinite board. You can switch off this and you can get back and you can start writing again with a pen. So as I said that x goes near to say 3 from the left hand side, means x takes values less than 3 but as close as possible as 3. What you'll realize that f of x will have the values near to 9, but now since we are approaching towards 3 from the left hand side, f of x will go towards 9 from from the downward side. So f of x, what sort of a values it will have? Maybe it will be, I'll say what, 8.9. Now this I'm taking it random, 8.999. It may not be, I'll say 8.9999. You just make a square of 2.99, whatever the value it comes. It may be something as this. So basically I mean to say whenever you are approaching towards 3 from the left hand side, f of x will go near to 3. Sorry, f of x will go near to 9, but of course it will have the lesser values than 9. I can bring f of x as close as possible near to 9 by bringing x near to 3 as close as possible. Again, one more thing you have to remember, that whenever I am saying limit of x tends to 3, x never ever becomes equal to 3. X simply comes closer to 3. And then we'll find f of x goes near to which particular value. Now here I just said that x approaches towards 3 from the left hand side, means it will have the values lesser than 3 but as close as possible to 3. Then f of x will have the values near to 9 but little bit lesser than 9. So that what we have realized. So whenever we say that limit of x tends to 3, never the value of x is equal to 3. That's one thing always has to be kept in mind. Now suppose if I'll say right hand side limit. So let's say suppose if I'll write right hand side limit. So for that I'll write the notation as a limit of x tends to 3 plus f of x. But what will be that? Limit of x tends to 3 plus of x square. Means now x will approach towards 3 from the right hand side. So x might take values as 3.01, 3.001, 3.0001. Time has come to move the board, but see, you'll like this facility. It's the good one. So then f of x will have the values 9.1, 9.01, 9.0001. So basically what you must know that as x goes up near to 3 from the right hand side means more the values than 3, then f of x will again go near to 9. It will be close to 9, means I mean to say now it will have a little bit more values than 9, as how we have seen it. So but again what you realize, limit of x tends to 3 minus f of x is equal to limit of x tends to 3 plus f of x. What this means both the one-sided limits are equal, means when x approaches towards 3 from the left hand side and when x approaches towards 3 from the right hand side, the function approaches towards a single particular value which is 9. So since both the one-sided limits will have a single particular value which is 9, I should say a limit of a particular function exists. अगर ये दो values one-sided limit का अलग-अलग होगा, let's say suppose if the two of the values of these one-sided limits are different, then we'll say the limit of a particular function does not exist. As simple as that. Now since it's just the beginning, I consider the simple example of just I'll say a single valued function x square as this, and the thing that happened, both the values of the limits are equal, so we are not much into trouble. But let's say consider one more example where it won't be a single valued function, it will have the different expressions at the two different sides of a particular value, and let's check at the particular value the limit of a particular function exists or not. So at least in this case we are pretty much sure that limit of a function exists because both the sided limits are equal and it is equal to the single value which is 9. So here certainly from these two of these expressions, all I should say as limit of x tends to 3 of x square is 9. Means as I'll bring x near to 3 from left hand side as well as right hand side, since the definition of a function is same even to the left as well as to the right of 3 and it goes near to 9, the limit of a particular function is 9. No matter I have written as equal to, still the whole thing, it means that the function will go near to the particular value, means it will go very much close to 9. Don't be misunderstood that function will take the value as 9. It's only the confusion, most of the time it stays with the students. Now to move on with a little bit different, I'll consider a function which has two different expressions around a particular value. Let's move the board. MIT physics, MIT mathematics. That's what the feeling it gives. This particular, I mean, Microsoft board. अरे देखो कैसे ऊपर जा रहा है. You have to cancel out this. I mean, you have to change this setting, and you're back. Now let's consider the function. Again, I have to choose a pen from here. I'll choose the ruler to draw the graph. I can move the ruler nicely. I can draw the horizontal line. I can draw the vertical line by tapping the mouse scrolling button in here. That changes the angle of the ruler with the horizon or horizontal level or whatever it must be. And then I'll keep the ruler here. I'll draw the vertical line. Now again what I do it, I choose the function which will have the different definitions around the particular value. So what I do it, let's take the value as x is equal to 3 again over here. So to the left of 3 I use some other definition, and to the right of 3 I use some other definition. So for that maybe I'll give some reference with some different color, maybe like this. Let's take away the ruler. Now to the left of 3 I'll keep the function as linear function. Linear function means a straight line function. So maybe I draw like this. Maybe some problem. If you want to draw the straight line, maybe you have some provision, into shape or something you can go for. And I can draw the straight line. Or maybe you can use a ruler. I can tilt with a particular angle. Let's go for 45 degree maybe. Kids may enjoy this, so I expect the parents and the school teachers to follow this sort of, this particular software to make them habituate to write online. You can buy a writing board, whatever, a pen tablet or something. They'll enjoy writing. And maybe the right hand side I'll make it as what? As a curve. Some problem with the sensors. So I can say this is the curve function. So here I'll say is f of x is equal to x square, and there I'll say f of x to the left I'll take it as 2x. This may not look good. Oh, it got zoomed, not needed. It went too bad. 100% was our style, so let's stay with it. You can choose this. It's just like the objects how we select in words. It gives the feeling as that. I just moved it a bit up because I don't want them to meet at the particular point. So f of x is equal to x square. This particular function is to the right, and f of x is equal to 2x. This particular, the definition of a function is to the left at x is equal to 3. No matter it looks to be overlapping the line, blue line, but that's not the case. These graphs, they just comes near to the blue line, means at x is equal to 3. So now let's check what do you mean by limit of a function. Again, in case of a function is multi-defined. Multi-defined means here already you must have seen it. On the right hand side it is x square, and to the left hand side it is 2x. So here again in this case, again how I define the function, maybe as this: f of x is equal to x square when x is greater than 3, and f of x is equal to 2x when x is less than 3. All you have noticed it is nothing is been bothered much what happens exactly at x is equal to 3. So we'll try to find limit of x tends to 3 minus f of x, which is the limit of x tends to 3 minus. Now left hand side, what definition do we have? 2x. So again I'll bring x near to 3 from the left, maybe like this. means x should take the values less than 3, means 2.99 or something. So 2.9, suppose if I take the double of that, will gonna be some 5 point something, 5.9 or something. So the value comes as 5.98 something, or 5.98987 or something. I chose the value of x near to 3 to the left of 3, means it should be around 2.99. 2.99 double, if in case if you do it, it may be approximately some 5 point stuff it comes. Let's not try to be accurate with the calculation, but all I should say, it will be less than some 6. 6 value comes in here. So x approaches towards 3 from the left hand side. F of x approaches towards 6 from the lower level, which can be shown like this. Ruler is good. Kids usually they should enjoy this, all I should say. Of course, the graph is not accurately calibrated. I'm not concerned with much of the scaling and all this. All I'm concerned with also understanding of the concept. So all I should say, f of x will be equal to 3. No, f of x will be equal to 6. So as x approaches towards 3 from the left, f of x will go near to 6, all I should say. F of x is equal to 6. Here is 6, f of x. So as the limit of x tends to 3 minus f of x, never ever misunderstand this as whenever the x approaches towards 3 from the left is been written as 3 minus. Doesn't mean that x takes values near to minus 3. It is not minus 3. It is approaching towards 3 from the left hand side. Better be sure about this. Don't be confused. Don't be confused. Mathematics is not the spectator's sport. You have to be in there. Then you enjoy more. So this comes as approximately 6 as what has been shown. I'll write it nicely. F of x is equal to 6. Now let's say suppose if you consider right hand side limit RHL of the same function f of x. This is multi-defined function. You have the two definitions. Better be sure about this. Second, I'll say limit of x tends to 3 plus, means I'm approaching towards 3 from the right hand side. Limit of x tends to 3 plus of x square, means now I'll put values of x as just little bit more than 3, since it is 3 plus, so 3.1, again it will come equal to some 9.001. But all you have noticed it, the definition was different. X more than 3 के लिए x square था. So now the value will go near to 9 from the top. So it will gonna be 9. Let's ask this. ऐसे. If I draw this line, will come near to 9. F of x will gonna be 9. So, but what have you noticed that when the x approaches towards 3 from the right hand side and x approaches towards 3 from the left hand side, the function approaches towards two different values, means I mean to say 6 and 9. So all I should say, LHL left hand side limit is of course nicely not equal to RHL, and I say that limit of x tends to 3 of f of x does not exist. It has got nothing to do what happens at x is equal to 3. So all you have to check from the right hand side of 3, whatever it, when the x approaches, function should go a particular value, and when x approaches towards left hand side of, when x approaches towards 3 from the left hand side, function should approach towards the same particular value. When this happens, we'll say the limit of a particular function exists, and which is equal to that the equal value of the function is there. That's exactly what it means, the limit of a particular function.